Meanwhile, WION is getting you all the updates as they are happening on the ground, and WION's principal diplomatic correspondent is presently at the venue of the G7 summit, and he sent us this report from the Bavarian Alps. Listen.
With its scenic background, Schloss Elmau is all set to host the G7 summit. This place fulfills all the requirements when it comes to security and logistics. This place is rich in history, and in the past as well it has hosted the G7 summit. That was the year 2015.
Schloss Elmau is located near the village of Crimea in the district of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. About 100 kilometers south of Munich, it's in a valley in the heart of the Wettstein Mountains, at an altitude of around 1,000 meters. This is not for the first time that it's hosting a G7 summit. These are visuals from 7 years ago. G7 leaders of that time, hugs and pleasantries, far away from the COVID crisis and the turmoil of the 2020s. In 2015, Schloss Elmau hosted the 41st G7 summit, led by the then German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The famous picture of Angela Merkel talking to former US President Barack Obama with a backdrop of the Bavarian Alps is the image that stood out from that summit. Some places see history being made many times, and there are other similarities as well. The 2015 G7 Germany summit was dominated by Russian actions in Crimea.
And pluralism survived and will survive. This is a community of values. And that is why Russia is not among us here today and will not be invited as long as it behaves aggressively against Ukraine and other countries.
This time, the Russian invasion of Ukraine will be top of the agenda, with a strong statement expected which slams Moscow for the invasion. Schloss Elmau has had an eventful and rich history. It was built by philosopher Johannes Müller originally as a meeting place between 1914 and 1916. It had hosted politicians and cultural figures of the Weimar Republic. Construction was made possible with financial assistance from Elsa, the Countess of Waldersee. Professor Carlos Sattler, Müller's brother-in-law, served as architect. In 1942, it was leased to German forces, only to be requisitioned by the US Army in 1945. It has served as a home for concentration camp survivors, convalescent homes for tuberculosis patients, and has even been converted to a hostel. In 2005, the house was destroyed by a fire and was rebuilt by Müller-Elmau, the founder's grandson. In fact, the place has a number of elephant motifs on pillows and elsewhere, because Müller-Elmau is known to have a soft corner for India and has regularly traveled to the country. The place also has a yoga retreat, something that was used during the G7 summit in 2015.
Rich in history and beautiful landscape, Schloss Elmau is all set to host the 48th G7 summit. The summit happens amidst the Russian invasion of Ukraine and its impact on food and commodity prices. Something that will be high on priority at the summit, and leaders will be keen to send a message to Moscow that it needs to stop its action in Ukraine or face more sanctions. With video journalist Ajit Siddhant Sibul for WION in Germany.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.